Let us continue salt analysis. In the salt analysis, we will take that chromium and aluminum filtrate we will take. Now we are taking the filtrate. We are taking the filtrate. The filtrate contains, we are taking the filtrate. The filtrate contains, one is sodium chromate solution. One is sodium chromate solution. Another one is meta-aluminate. Meta-aluminate solution. Meta-aluminate solution. Sodium chromate solution is yellow. Sodium chromate solution is yellow colored. Meta-aluminate is colorless. Meta-aluminate is colorless. Now, how to analyze the chromium? How to analyze this chromium? That we'll see. How to analyze chromium? That part we'll see. Now, first we'll take one part of this sodium chromate. We'll take one part of sodium chromate solution. We'll take sodium chromate solution. To this, we will add a dilute acetic acid solution. Dilute acetic acid solution we will add. Then we will add a lead acetate solution. Then we are adding lead acetate solution. We are adding lead acetate solution. Lead acetate solution we are adding. Okay. Now you say, what is the necessity of adding dilute acetic acid? Why to add dilute acetic acid? You are adding acid in the sense maybe neutralizing base. Maybe neutralizing base, it is one possibility. Is there any base in the filtrate? Is there any base in the filtrate in order to neutralize this base? It is one possibility. Another possibility of adding dilute acetic acid is giving acidic medium. Giving acidic medium. It is another possibility. Now, for which possibility you are adding dilute acetic acid to the sodium chromate solution? So, what are the possibilities of adding dilute acetic acid? You are adding dilute acetic acid for two cases. One is neutralizing if any base present in this solution. Another one is giving acidic medium to the solution. Giving acidic medium to the solution. Sir, another one is there. What is another one means? Lead acetate solubility will be high in the presence of dilute acetic acid. Lead acetate solubility will be high in the presence of acetic acid. That also we can say. Lead acetate solubility will be high in the presence of acetic acid. So, whenever lead acetate is the reagent, before that we will add dilute acetic acid solution. For lead acetate is a reagent. When lead acetate acts as a reagent, before adding lead acetate, we will add dilute acetic acid and making the medium as a acidic medium, acetic acid solution medium. Then we will add lead acetate. Sir. So for what sake we are adding dilute acetic acid out of these three possibilities? Out of these three possibilities, for what sake we are adding dilute acetic acid? Sir, first neutralizing base, that we'll see. Is there any base here? Is there any base OH minus? Is there any base here? In this solution is in acidic medium or basic medium or neutral medium? How do you know it? Okay, first possibility neutralizing base, that possibility we'll see. Okay. Now, this sodium chromate we got by taking CrOH thrice precipitate. To this we added water. To that we added sodium peroxide. To that we added sodium peroxide and heated and cooled. Then filtered. Sir. Now resultant solution contains sodium chromate. Now the resultant solution medium is basic or acidic or neutral. What is that medium? That we have to see it. Sir. Now we will write this equation like this. Sodium peroxide with water gives sodium hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide. Like this we will write this equation. So we have written sodium peroxide with water gives sodium hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide equation we have written. Is it correct? Sodium peroxide on dissolving in water, will it give sodium hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide? That we have to see. Sir. Now we will take one example. We will take sodium oxide. We will take sodium oxide. It is a solid which is colorless. Let us add this into water. What is our expectation? We will get a solution. Okay. We got a solution. The solution is a sodium oxide solution, or what is the solution? Shall we say the resultant is called aqueous solution of sodium oxide? We are taking here sodium oxide, we are dissolving this one in water, we are getting a solution. Shall we say this solution is called aqueous solution of sodium oxide? Sir. So we are having it out. Sorry. We will take sodium chloride. We will take sodium chloride. This sodium chloride we will add into water. We will add sodium chloride into water. We will get aqueous solution of sodium chloride. We will get aqueous solution of sodium chloride. Isn't it? We are dissolving sodium chloride in water. We are getting aqueous solution of sodium chloride. Now you say sodium oxide is added into water. What will you get? Will you get aqueous solution of sodium oxide? Sir, what experiment says? That we will see. Experiment says aqueous solution of sodium. What do you say? Sodium hydroxide. Experiment says like this. Experiment says aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide. See, we have taken sodium oxide, we are adding water, we are getting a solution since it dissolves. But how the solution is there? Solution is aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide. Why is it so? Why the solution is sodium hydroxide instead of oxide? Why the solution is hydroxide instead of oxide? What is the reason? That indicates this experimental result says this oxide is converting into hydroxide. This oxide is converting into hydroxide with water. This oxide is converting into hydroxide with water. That's what happened. That's what experiment says. Experiment says this oxide has converted into hydroxide with water. Why is it so? Why like this happened? Now we will take this oxide, we are taking, we are writing water as H plus OH minus, we are writing water as H plus OH minus. Now we will say this oxide takes H plus from water and becomes a OH minus. This OH minus remain as it is OH minus. Okay. Now see, this oxide takes H plus from water and becomes OH minus. In the water, what is the remaining? OH minus is remaining, that present in the solution. Now this oxide is a base. This oxide is called base since it has taken H plus from water. Which base? Whether it is strong base or weak base or very weak base. Now this basic strength is greater than water, therefore it acts as base. This basic strength is greater than water, therefore it acts as a base. Then this equilibrium lies almost right. Why? Because this on dissolving in water, we are getting aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide. We are not saying aqueous solution of sodium oxide. This indicates this equilibrium lies almost right. That means this basic strength even greater than hydroxide. This basic strength even greater than hydroxide, therefore it is a strong base. This oxide is a strong base. So strong base is defined as which has basic strength greater than hydroxide as well as water. So which is called a strong base? One which has basic strength greater than hydroxide as well as water, that is called a strong base. This oxide is strong base. That means this basic strength is even greater than hydroxide. That's what experiment says. Since it is strong base, it reacts with water and becomes hydroxide. Therefore, sodium oxide on dissolving in water, what happens? Sodium no change, but oxide reacts with water and becomes hydroxide. That means oxide undergoes hydrolysis, anionic hydrolysis. Hydrolysis extent of hydrolysis. One is partial hydrolysis or complete hydrolysis. Now extent of hydrolysis. One is partial hydrolysis, another one is complete hydrolysis. This oxide goes to complete hydrolysis or partial hydrolysis. What shall we say? Such that the equilibrium lies almost to right. Equilibrium lies almost to right because this solution contains sodium hydroxide but not sodium oxide. This indicates this oxide undergoes complete hydrolysis. Therefore, if the anion is strong, it will undergo complete hydrolysis. If anion is weak, that will undergo partial hydrolysis. If anion is very weak, that will not undergo hydrolysis at all. Sir, now we will take three different types of anions. One we will take it as three different types of anion. One is H minus, one is acetate, another one is Cl minus. What about extent of hydrolysis out of these three? How these three anions will undergo hydrolysis? That we will see. So one we have taken H minus with water. H minus with water gives hydrogen gas and OH minus. Set. Acetate ion with water. Acetate ion with water gives acetic acid and OH minus. Then Cl minus. Cl minus we said no hydrolysis. Cl minus we said no hydrolysis. Now H minus is a strong base. H minus is a strong base. Acetate is a weak base. Cl minus is a very weak base. So no hydrolysis. Cl minus is very weak base, therefore no hydrolysis. H minus is strong base, therefore shall we say complete hydrolysis? Okay. So Cl minus is strong base, so it undergoes complete hydrolysis. Acetate ion is weak base, therefore it undergoes partial hydrolysis. Acetate ion is weak base, therefore it undergoes partial hydrolysis. So weak base anion is from weak acid. Weak acid can give weak base anion, which can undergo partial hydrolysis. Sir, so which will undergo complete hydrolysis? Strong base anion undergoes complete hydrolysis. Which will undergo partial hydrolysis? Weak base anion undergo partial hydrolysis. Which does not undergo hydrolysis? Very weak base anion does not undergo hydrolysis. Very weak base anion does not undergo hydrolysis. Very weak base anion is from strong acid. Weak base anion is from weak acid. Strong base anion is from very weak acid. Sir. Now we will come back to this oxide. This oxide will undergo complete hydrolysis. Okay. Now we will take this sodium peroxide. Sodium peroxide with water gives sodium hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide. Why is it so? Sodium peroxide, on dissolving in water, you will get sodium hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide. What is the reason? Why sodium peroxide aqueous solution is existing in the form of sodium hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide? What is the reason? What phenomenon took place? Do you think that any hydrolysis? Do you think that any hydrolysis which is undergoing hydrolysis, do you think cation or anion or both, which will undergo hydrolysis? Do you say cation or do you say anion or do you say both? Sir, now here we have taken sodium peroxide. Sodium peroxide with water gives sodium hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is an acid. Hydrogen peroxide is an acid. You remind the point. Have we said any time hydrogen peroxide is an example for strong acid? No. Therefore, it is a weak acid. Its acidic strength is much less. So, even for weak acid also, example we will say acetic acid will say, hydrogen cyanide will say, hydrogen sulfide will say. We are not saying hydrogen peroxide. It is weak acid only. But how the acidic strength will be there, you think it? Acidic strength will be much low for hydrogen peroxide. Since it is weak, its conjugate is what? This peroxide. Either we can take hydroperoxide HO2 minus or O22 minus. This peroxide undergoes hydrolysis. Hydrolysis in the sense it takes H plus. It takes H plus from water. Peroxide we can write like this. Water we will write H plus OH minus. Water we are writing H plus and OH minus. So this peroxide is taking H plus. This H plus is taken by this minus. This H plus is taken by this minus. So it is becoming hydrogen peroxide. This OH minus and this OH minus present as sodium hydroxide. Sir. Then this hydrogen peroxide will go for what reaction? We'll see. This hydrogen peroxide we have taken this with chromium. We have come for this in order to discuss about this chromium only. Okay. Now we have gone for this test. We took filtrate. The filtrate contains either yellow. The filtrate may be yellow colored solution or colorless. Yellow colored solution means sodium chromate. Colorless means meta-aluminate. For chromium, we have gone for the test. This filtrate we have divided into 3 parts. In this one part of the filtrate, we added dilute acetic acid and lead acetate solution. Why to add dilute acetic acid? One possibility, neutralizing if base is present. For that case only, we have gone to that place. Sir, okay. So Now this chromium is in a +6 state. It came from chromium hydroxide Cr plus 3. Okay, so now we will take that point we will take. Okay, now hydrogen peroxide is there. This hydrogen peroxide undergoes reduction. It is undergoing reduction. That means this O minus takes an electron and becomes O2 minus. O2 minus with H plus becomes OH minus. Similarly, this O minus takes an electron and becomes O2 minus. O2 minus takes H plus and becomes OH minus. So hydroxide. Hydrogen peroxide becomes hydroxide. Sorry. That means hydrogen peroxide undergoes reduction because this chromium 3 hydroxide, chromic hydroxide, it is +3. It undergoes oxidation to give chromate. It is +6. Chromium undergoing oxidation, so hydrogen peroxide undergoing reduction. Sorry. Now here +3 becomes +6 by losing 3 electrons. Okay. Now let us balance this one. Let us balance this one. Chromium 1, okay. Oxygen is 4, but here 3, therefore we will write one water molecule. We have written one water molecule here. Now we will say hydrogen. Hydrogen is 2, here 3, 5 hydrogens. 5 hydrogens means here we will write 5H plus, but medium is basic. Therefore we have to do in basic medium. So in order to remove this H plus, we will write 5OH minus here and 5OH minus here. Why we are writing OH minus? Because the medium is basic. So we have to remove this H plus. To remove H plus, we are writing 5OH minus here and 5OH minus here. This H plus and OH minus becomes 5 water molecules. Now let us cancel the water molecules. Let us cancel here one water molecule, here one water molecule will cancel, it will become 4. So we balance the equation. The balanced equation we are writing here, this water we will remove, we will write this OH minus, we will write this OH minus we have written. We will remove this OH minus. This we will write it as water. That means 4 water molecules we will write. We have written 4 water molecules. Okay. So chromium undergoing oxidation. This off reaction we balance. Next we will go for a complete reaction, for which before doing complete reaction, let us make this loss and gain equal. Therefore we will multiply this by 3, this by 2. Now we will add, we will get overall reaction. In the overall reaction, chromium is 2 times, CrOH thrice 2 times, hydrogen peroxide 3 times, hydroxide here 6, here 10, therefore cancelling, remaining is 4 hydroxide. Remaining is 4 hydroxide we have written. Then we will write chromate. Chromate we will write. Then we will write water. So this is the equation. Now you say this chromate is in basic solution or acidic solution or neutral solution. What do you say? Chromate is in which solution? Chromate is in basic solution, do you say, or acidic solution, do you say, or neutral solution, do you say? Since here hydroxide is there, hydrogen peroxide undergoing reduction and becoming hydroxide, therefore the solution is in basic medium. The solution is in basic medium, we can say. Okay, so this sodium chromate is in which medium? Basic medium. In order to neutralize the basic medium, dilute acetic acid is added. It is one possibility. Correct. So adding dilute acetic acid in order to neutralize basic medium, it is one possibility. Second possibility, due to this acetic acid, this solution becomes acidic medium. Sir. Third possibility, if reagent is lead acetate, the medium should be in acetic acid solution medium, because lead acetate will dissolve in acetic acid to higher extent. Solubility of lead acetate will be high in acetic acid. Why? Because lead acetate forms a complex therefore only. Sir. So we are adding dilute acetic acid here. So for what sake we added dilute acetic acid, we came to know it, sir. Now we added lead acetate. Here we will get the precipitate. The precipitate is yellow precipitate. Can you name what is yellow precipitate? Okay. Here lead ion, here lead is a cation, here anion is chromate. This cation lead anion chromate becomes lead chromate, which is yellow precipitate. So we are getting yellow precipitate. So if the filtrate contains either sodium chromate or metaaluminate, if sodium chromate is there, one test is like this. We will get yellow precipitate, that is lead chromate. What is another test for this sodium chromate? What is another test for this sodium chromate? That we will see. Another test for a sodium chromate we will see. Now we will take this sodium chromate we are taking, CrO4 2 minus aqueous solution we are taking, CrO4 2 minus aqueous solution. It is a yellow colored solution. It is yellow colored solution, sir. To this yellow colored solution, first dilute nitric acid is added. Dilute nitric acid solution is added. Then the solution is cooled. 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 Then to this solution, what is added means amyl alcohol. Amyl in the sense 5 carbon atoms. Amyl in the sense 5 carbon atoms. Amyl alcohol is having 5 carbon atoms. Amyl alcohol is added, which is liquid. Amyl alcohol is added, which is liquid. Then few drops of hydrogen peroxide solution is added. Few drops of hydrogen peroxide solution is added. Then the solution is shaken very well. Solution is shaken very well. Then solution is left for certain time. On leaving the solution for certain time, the solution is becoming two layers. Two layers will be there in the solution. One is aqueous solution, below layer is aqueous solution. The above layer is alcoholic solution. The above layer is alcoholic solution. So here we are getting two solutions we are getting. One is below layer, another one is upper layer. The bottom layer is aqueous solution. The upper layer is alcoholic solution. In the place of alcohol, you can take even ether. Then this upper part will be ethereal solution. Sir, two parts we have got. Now this alcoholic solution and aqueous solution we got. Now we will see this chromate is yellow color, nitric acid is colorless, nitric acid is colorless, alcohol is colorless, hydrogen peroxide is colorless, hydrogen peroxide is colorless. Now this alcoholic solution is having blue color. This alcoholic solution is having blue color. Why is it so? What had happened? What had happened here? That we will see. Now this chromate CrO4 2 minus is becoming CrO5. This CrO5 is blue in color. This CrO5 is soluble in alcohol to larger extent. This CrO5 is soluble in alcohol to larger extent, and this CrO5 is giving blue color. This CrO5 is highly soluble in alcoholic solution and it is having blue color. Therefore, alcoholic solution is having blue color. Sir, what is the structure of CrO5? What is the structure of CrO5? Before seeing the structure of CrO5, what is the oxidation number of chromium in CrO5 that we will see. What is the oxidation number of chromium in CrO5? In chromate, oxidation number of chromium is +6. In CrO5, what is the oxidation number of chromium, do you think? What is the oxidation number of chromium, do you think? Sir, let us calculate oxidation number of chromium as per normal method. Chromium oxidation number we want. So we will take oxygen oxidation number as -2. Net is 0. So we will get a chromium oxidation number is +10. It is a calculation on the pen and paper. Sir, whether it is correct or wrong, how to know it? For which, let us see chromium family. In chromium family, what are the elements are there means chromium, molybdenum, tungsten and Cbarge. Chromium electronic configuration is argon 3d5 4s1. Argon 3d5 4s1. So chromium valence shell contains 6 electrons. Therefore, chromium can show maximum +6. Chromium valence shell contains 6 electrons. So chromium can show maximum +6 oxidation number. So +10 is not possible. +10 is not possible. +10 is not possible. So chromium cannot show +10 oxidation number. Why is it so? Because chromium electronic configuration is argon 3d5 4s1. Chromium valence shell contains 6 electrons. So chromium can show maximum +6 oxidation number. It cannot show more than +6. So chromium cannot show 10 +10 oxidation number. Sir, that means here for oxygen we have given -2 oxidation number. This indicates this chromium cannot show +10 means all the oxygens here cannot have -2 oxidation number. All the oxygen atoms in CrO5 do not have -2 oxidation number. That means oxygen is having some other oxidation number. Sir, so what are the possible oxidation numbers for oxygen? That we will see. What are the possible oxidation numbers for oxygen? That we will see. So for oxygen, one possibility is oxide. In the oxide, oxygen oxidation number is 2-. Next possibility is peroxide. Peroxide possibility O2 2-. Formula is O2 2-. O2 2- we can write it as O-1 single bond O-1. This -1 is called a oxidation number of oxygen in the peroxide. So in the peroxide, oxygen oxidation number is -1. Next possibility is superoxide. Superoxide formula is O2 -1. Now O2 -1 we will write as 2 oxygens like this. Oxygen valence shell has 6 electrons because 6 is a group. So we will write 6 electrons for oxygen. 6 electrons we have written. Due to -1, we will write additional electron we have written. Due to -1 we have written additional electron. Now we will draw the bond. This bond is called odd electron bond. This bond is called odd electron bond because this bond contains 3 electrons. Then this -1 charge we will give minus of here, minus of here. It is called a resonance hybrid. This structure is called a resonance hybrid. Resonance hybrid is the actual structure of the species. Now, oxidation number of oxygen in superoxide is minus 1 by 2. Oxidation number of oxygen in superoxide is minus 1 by 2. Next possibility is oxygen with fluorine gives OF2. OF2 we can write like this. Fluorine is having higher electronegativity. So fluorine takes minus 1 oxidation number. Oxygen takes plus 2 oxidation number here. Next possibility will take O2F2. In O2F2, 2 fluorine atoms and 2 oxygen atoms we can write like this. Now we can say fluorine is having higher electronegativity, so minus 1 oxidation number. Therefore, oxygen is having plus 1 oxidation number. So oxygen can show these are the possible oxidation numbers. Okay. So oxygen can show plus 1 in O2F2. Oxygen can show plus 2 in OF2. Oxygen can show minus 1 by 2 in superoxide. Oxygen can show minus 1 oxidation number in peroxide. Oxygen can show minus 2 in oxide. Sorry. So, what are the possible oxidation numbers of oxygen that we have seen? Now, we will come back to CrO5. In CrO5, 5 oxygens are there. For all the 5 oxygens, we have given minus 2. This is incorrect in this case. It is incorrect in this case because chromium cannot take plus 10 oxidation number. It can show maximum plus 6. Sir. So oxygen is not having, all the oxygens are not having minus 2. Then some of the oxygens, that means this here oxygen atoms are having some other oxidation number. What is a possibility? We know that here the oxygens can have, what are the other possible oxidation numbers? That possibility is minus 1. Why is it so? Because we added hydrogen peroxide. Since we added hydrogen peroxide, here this oxygen may have minus 1 oxidation number. Sir, how many oxygens are having minus 1 oxidation number? How to find it? For which, what we have to do? We have to take oxidation number of this chromium as maximum possible value. Now, we are taking chromium oxidation number as plus 6. Why should we take? In order to know how many oxygens are having minus 1 oxidation number and how many oxygens are having minus 2 oxidation number. In order to know it, we have to take the chromium oxidation number as maximum possible value. Therefore, take chromium oxidation number as plus 6. From the oxidation number of chromium, go for here in this 5 oxygens, how many will have minus 1 and how many will have minus 2, we have to calculate it. Okay.